Hey everyone, welcome back to More Flesh and Bad, and today we're going to take a look at Hunted Draft. So, Hunted is the new set or format or whatever, and we're going to try to play some games. So, this is Draft, so it's a little bit different from Sealed, which I imagine a lot of people are doing right now for pre release. I did actually attempt to do some draft earlier, but I forgot that some of the cards are not generic. I think I drafted like the Red Alert set or like the armor set. It turns out that that is Assassin Warrior and not just a generic equipment. So yeah, redoing the draft with that in mind. So we're going to be paying a little bit more attention to the class, talent, stuff on equipment. Yeah, we'll see if we can get some good games. So it looks like the lobby is starting now. All right, let's take a look at what we got. So we got some interesting cards. We got a Searing Gaze, which is pretty good uh in Fang specifically. We've also got Hunt the Ends of Wraith, which is just a pretty solid card, honestly, especially against like Arachnes. Uh Searing Gaze is like kind of speaking out the most to me. There's also Hot on their heels, which is just like a pretty good 0 for 3. And then some other like decent stuff. If we wanted to stay open, we could take the Hunt, which is maybe the play here. Uh, if we wanted to like hard commit to Fang though, we could take the Searing Gaze. I think I'm gonna go for the Hunt though. It's good against half the heroes in the set, and like maybe just being like a 0 for 4 is like decent. So let's maybe stay open with the Draconic card. Okay, what else do we have here? So we have the Leapfrog set, which is Assassin Ninja. We also have like Sisters of Fire. What card was taken out of this pack? Maybe one of the hybrid cards. I forget exactly what the slots are. So it looks like we got Assassin, Ninja, Ninja, Warrior, Warrior. So I think it may be one of those. I'm trying to forget. I'm trying to remember what the other slots are, which is maybe kind of part of the skill of this format. We do have another Draconic card though. So I feel like a Draconic 1 for 5 is like pretty decent. I feel like that's what I'm leaning towards. We could also take equipment or like try to commit to something, but I think I'm going to stay open for now. All right, so we have a Blaze Headlong, which is really, really solid. So what cards do we have? We have Assassin cards gone to our left. And then I think we have maybe another hybrid card gone. I do like Blaze Headlong, though. Like, Blaze Headlong is just a very, very strong card in pretty much all the decks, I feel like. Fire Tenant is also pretty good, but this is Ninja specific. So I guess I'm going to just take the Blaze Headlong. Again, 0 for 4 is good. All right. What else do we have? We got a lot of ninja card. We still have a lot of like the basic class cards open. We have a Sigil of Solace too, which is kind of spicy. Is Sigil of Solace just like a generically like good enough card to play in every deck? Probably. We're kind of just like open draconic at this point. Like we don't actually have anything that commits us hard to warrior or ninja. I'm gonna run the Sigil honestly, just because I think that this card, like, especially if you're like going first or something, might be just like pretty good. All right, what else do we have here? We have another Draconic card. We also have Imperial Intent. What cards are we seeing gone? So we see more Assassin cards gone. So someone's picking up the Assassin stuff. We still don't have like a really well-defined lane, but I think Smokeout's like pretty decent, especially in Draconic. Just having like Mark Synergy also like enables the Hunt to the Ends of Wraith, which I think is quite solid. So yeah, maybe we'll just stay in the Draconic lane. Again, I think in draft specifically, it's kind of important to stay open and see what other people are picking up. But yeah, it does feel weird to not have like a real lane after 5 picks. It's definitely kind of interesting. But I don't think it's a bad thing either. Like our card quality, I think, is quite solid. Just like we basically got two pseudo 0 for 4 go agains. We got Smoke Out, which is just like I think a decent D react, and then we got For the Emperor, which is just a 1 for 5. So like I think we're in a good spot right now. There is also kind of a funny interaction if we're Fang specifically, where we have like Sigil Solace plus a fealty token can give a dagger go again, which is kind of cool. Yeah, but I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for what people are picking up. So it seems like there's a lot of work. So we see our first ninja card getting picked as well. This kind of leads me to want to go into Fang. How good is Power Stance in Fang? Like maybe we start actually kind of picking up the lane here. Imperial Intent's also kind of fine. Not like incredibly strong, but like decent. Power Stance is like a blue though. We don't have a lot of blues yet. But I don't think this card is like all that good. It might be a little bit of like a rare trap. So what do we want to do here? I kind of feel like maybe we just start sending a signal, take the Imperial Intent and see what happens. Seems like Fang's like pretty open. Maybe. Alright. You got Cut from the Same Cloth, which is a 0 for 2. That also has like some decent synergy. It's also Assassin Warrior. So I think now is like kind of the opportunity of like whether or not we want to commit to Fang. Scalding Iron I think is a trap, by the way. I don't think this card is all that good. I think it's between Dragon Power and Cut from the Same Cloth. We do actually have like a somewhat okay Cindra start as well. So I think this is kind of like the decision point here. I mean, Dragon Power is like quite solid. But we also saw like that a lot of warrior cards are still open. So I feel like I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I'm gonna try to cut off warrior and see how that goes. But it could be that a lot of people are also like pivoting to warrior. Okay, what do we have here? We see another warrior card getting cut. This is Assassin Ninja. I don't think Proclaim Vengeance is all that bad, especially for like just enabling fealty. It's like okay, it's not like anything amazing, but I think it's definitely playable. We also have Hunt a Killer at yellow, which is kind of like mid, but it's still like probably playable. And then we also have like Cut Deep as well if we want another blue. I think I'm gonna take the Proclaim, maybe just stick it in the sideboard for now. I think we can still maybe pivot back to Cindra. Like, we don't have a ton of cards that are necessarily like signaling Fang to us yet. I think like maybe the Sigil plus these two are kind of signaling Fang. We do have Pledge Fealty, which is not bad. We do also have Hot on their heels, which I think is a very solid Draconic card. But maybe the Fealty is just okay. I feel like I'm gonna I think I'm gonna try to commit here and try to force Fang. See if we can get some fealty stacking. I don't think this card is all that bad. It's definitely like kind of weak on paper, but the more I've seen this card played, the more I actually think it's like kind of okay. So we got our attacks here. We got pseudo D reacts or not attack reacts here. We definitely need a couple more attack reacts. So these are reacts. Scar Tissue is somewhat okay. Nothing incredible, but I think it's playable. Hunt a Killer is also kind of interesting at blue. I think having the attack react mark is maybe a little bit better. I don't know exactly what ratios you want for draft. I think you want at least like 8 to 9 blues, I think is what a lot of people are saying. All right, so we have a Grow Claws, which is pretty good ninja. So it looks like maybe ninja's also open. There's also Prowess, but Prowess is like, I think, a trap. How committed are we to Warrior, I guess? We have 3 Warrior cards. And I guess Pledge Fealty is also kind of Warrior card. Maybe we see if the Ninja lane opens up, but I don't particularly see it. We can take a Path of Vengeance, though. We're Draconic regardless, so I think that's maybe okay. Knife Through Butter. Next dagger gets +3 whenever you attack a mark here, and then the attack gets go again. I think that's whatever. It's probably sideboard. And then another Grow Claw. This is actually like kind of okay. It's interesting to see the Grow Claws go that late. Just a 1 for 5 go again a lot of the time. Yeah, but we're definitely, I think, a little bit torn here between Fang and Cindra. Alright, so we have another Hunt the Yensa Wraith. We also have Art of Dragon Claw, which I think is probably the pickup regardless. Oh wait, no, this is Ninja. Okay. I thought this was just a regular Draconic, but I forgot. So now we do actually have a decision of whether or not we want to maybe try to pivot to Cindra. We did see a lot of... I feel like we didn't see a lot of super high quality warrior cards. Like, I feel like someone's maybe starting to pick those up. So maybe now is the opportunity to switch. I guess the question is, do we have enough time to get all the playables we need? We have the Grow Claws. We can, like, play the fealty stuff. like maybe it's just a lot better than the warrior cards we've been seeing. I feel like we saw like an early signal that someone was ninja, but I could be wrong. So I think it's probably this. What other options, I guess, do we have? We have the For the Drakai, which is just Draconic. We have another pseudo 0 for 4. We don't actually have like a ton of mark though. So maybe this is not. Maybe we just go for the our Dragon Claw. Maybe we start picking up some ninja stuff. I think we're still maybe waffling a little bit between Cindra Fang. Alright, what do we have here? Let's take a look at what got picked. Our Dragon Seal is quite good, but we also have a Blaze Headlong, which is, I guess, playable in both. I do like Blaze Headlongs, especially with kind of what we got going on here. We do also have Sigil Assault, which kind of, funny enough, combos with the Blaze Headlongs. Yeah, I think we just keep taking these Draconic cards. Like, 0 for 4, go again, pretty much always good, right? There is the Art of Dragon Scale, but I think this one's a little bit less good than, like, Claw. Alright, yeah, I think we're just going to take the Blaze Headlong again. Alright, we have Fire Cannon Strike Fist, which is also really good. So we're seeing a lot of really high-quality ninja cards, it feels like. I'm a little bit worried about getting, like, cut off on the back end, but I think, like, we're seeing some really high-quality cards. So I think we're going to take this 0 for 4 red. Again, very, very good. Also synergizes with our Blaze Headlongs. So I think we're kind of in the Cindra lane now. To me, this Pledge Fealty also gets cut, and then I think we're like kind of looking pretty good so far. So let's kind of sort out. Proclaim Vengeance also probably not as good in Cindra as it is in Fang, but so we got a bunch of 0 for 4s. We got Grow Claws. I guess I'm gonna put the 1 cost here. Let's put like Smoke Out here. 1 cost. So we have 10 playable cards. 10 playable cards with 2 packs left. I think we just need to kind of focus on our playables. We can run stuff like the Pledge Fealty. We have a Silver Talons here. Not bad. We also have Rake. I don't think Rake's all that good, though. Pick Up the Point's also like quite reasonable. Wonder which one's better between these two. I think Pick Up the Point might be a little bit of a better synergy card just for like the Blaze Headlongs, because we already have a ton of 0 for 4s, and I think turning on the 0 for 4s might be a little bit more important than like trying to have like a big finisher with like fealty stuff. Like, we don't really actually have a ton of mark right now. Like, the only thing we have like is the Smoke Out. So I think this Pick Up the Point is pretty reasonable. We also have like equipment that we can start getting. How much Draconic do we have? We do have like a bunch of ninja stuff as well, so maybe this Code of Allegiance is not actually that important. So I think I'm gonna stick to Pick Up the Point. We could see the Silver Talons wheel, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the pick Up the Point. I think it's just pretty high synergy. All right, so I think we're firmly in Cindra at this point. I think my last draft there were like 4 or so Cindras. So this draft, it seems like Cindra maybe seeing a little less play. All right, we have a Grow Claws here. We also have Leapfrog Gloves. We don't have any equipment so far, so how many cards are left in this pack? We have 10 cards left in this pack. We're gonna have 15. Is it 15? Can't remember if it's 15. But we have 15 or so cards. We can play at least like Pledge Fealty if we absolutely need to. We already have a Boots. These 4 cards are not playable. So I guess the question is, do we want to value the equipment or the playable? Grow Claws, I think, is quite solid, honestly. We do also need some blues, but like our deck is like kind of red line at this point. All right, I'm gonna take the Leapfrog Gloves. We also have a Dust Runner Outlaw. That's pretty good. We have a Helmet, which is mostly just like 1 Blade Break, but we also have another Pick Up the Point. I think the Pick Up the Points are quite strong. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, so we have Burning Blade Dance, very, very solid. We also have Hot Iron Heels. Ooh, I think this is an interesting decision. Let's go for the Burning. We definitely want to see if we can pick up like at least a handful of blues. But our deck is like pretty 0 for 4 red line, which is kind of cool. We have Grow Wings, we have Expose, we have the Leggings, which we already have a boot slot, so not as necessary. This Grow Wings is kind of tempting. I think picking up at least a couple blues that we can play is probably smart at some point. We're looking like pretty good so far. It's just the mana is good. All right, let's take that. Let's take the. God, we're not even gonna be able to play that. I think we might just need to take the yellow at this point. We'll take a blue, tag the target. I think we also have the helmet. Fuck it. Let's take the helmet. Sure, why not? All right, we have a Grow Wings again. So it looks like Ninja's pretty open. Silver Talon's also. All right, we have like a weird. I guess maybe the blues aren't as important when you have. How many 0 costs is this? This is like 14 0 costs. Okay, maybe I'm cooking something here. I feel like I want at least like some amount of blues. Because otherwise we're not going to be able to use the daggers incredibly well, but maybe it's okay. All right, blue Grow Claws. All right, we got the first blue in the deck. It's only taken the end of pack, whatever this is. I'll take it. I'll take it at this point. It's been a weird draft. I mean, I feel like all the drafts I do are a little bit strange. We might honestly play some of these 0 cost instants just because playing like a red card might turn on like Blaze Headlong, which is kind of funny. Tegan's probably looking at this deck right now while editing, like, this is a pile of shit. Which I cannot blame them. Our equipment's actually, like, not bad, though. We've got 3 Iron Rot gloves. Or not 3 Iron Rot gloves, that would be bad. 3 Iron Rots in general. We're just missing chest piece at this point. So not terrible. I'll take a yellow, sure, why not? Okay, what do we got here? All right, so we need to pick up some blues. We do have a Hunt the Hunter, but we might not even be able to cast that. Blue Grow Wings is like pretty fine. It's like a blue 3 block. We also have the Code of Allegiance, which, yeah, like I don't know if we can actually play this. Like I think this is better in Fang than it is in like Cindra, for instance. So I think the real decision, I think we need to pick up some blues here. So I think the question is pick up the point versus Grow Wings. I'm gonna take the Grow Wings just as a blue 3 block. I think that's maybe a little bit better. Seems a little bit more solid. All right, we got Mark of Loyalty. We got Mark with Magma. We got another Burning Blade Dance, which kind of fits our curve of, 0 costs. Okay. We also have Blessing. Drop a Dragon Blood's also like somewhat tempting, but I don't fully understand why that's tempting. Like our deck doesn't actually have that many Draconics. I think I'm just gonna take the Burning, just to have a 0 for 3 block. March of Loyalty, we don't have a ton of fealty generation, so maybe a little bit less good. All right, we definitely need some blues here. So what are we looking at? These are Warrior. This is generic defense reaction. So maybe this is just playable. We might see some of these Cinder cards wheel. That's so we have a choice basically between this and the Exposed. I think I'm just gonna take the put into context. I think this card's like pretty okay. Lots of three base attacks, so I think this card is actually like pretty playable, like not super restrictive. All right, if you treat the yellows as blues, we're at roughly six fake blues, if that makes sense. And like we only have like so many 1 costs in the deck, so maybe it's like fine to just do like a singular dagger plus a 1 cost, and maybe that's okay. So like, what are the cards we want to like cut at this point? Probably the Proclaim. I think the Pledge Fealty is like okay, not incredible, but like probably also we want to cut at some point. But the rest of it like seems pretty solid. Like this deck I think is coming along. Just a lot of 0 for 3 go agains with some 0 for 4s with some just good value cards. Seems pretty good. All right, what do we have in this pack for us? We can take a blue, throw yourself at them if we want the blue, which we probably do. Is there another option here for us? Not really. There's Expose, which I'm not in love with this card. I think this card's like fine. It's probably playable, but not super appealing to me. We'll take the throw yourself at them. I think that's fine. All right, so we have a Fire Tone Strike Fist, which is also good. We could also take the Hot on their heels. I guess the question is, like, how many blues do we realistically want in the deck? So we have 23 playables right now. This one's the 2 for 6, so I think this one's not. Well, it's actually like pretty okay in Cindra, I think, right? Because you can do like dagger plus 2 for 6, and that's pretty okay. I think the blue Strike Fist is like appealing to me the most, though. We already have so many 0 for 3s that I don't think this one's like adding a ton to our deck. So I think I'm just gonna get our blue count up a little bit higher. All right, we have blue Tip Off. We have Poison Blade, which I'm not super crazy about Poison Blade. There's also Outed, which I think is somewhat okay. Turns on our Blaze Headlongs and stuff. Red Alert Vest we unfortunately cannot play, which I learned in the other draft. So I think the real decision is between the Outed and the Tip Off. I think I'm going to just take the Tip Off. I think we just need like maybe that last blue. So now we managed to pick up 6 blues, which is pretty good. We have an Upsticks, which is pretty all right as well. It's also the Dust Runner Outlaw. Ooh, I think Dust Runner is actually quite a solid pick just as a 1 cost. I think we maybe need a couple more 1 costs for our curve. All right, we also see Mark with Magma coming around, but there's also a blue Styx. I think that there's definitely a choice here between these two. Do we want 1 more blue? I think 1 more blue might be okay. And Upsticks is like a pretty high quality blue. But I guess the question is like the dagger retrieval, or like the dagger buff especially, doesn't matter as much in Cindra. So maybe this isn't as good. Like maybe we do have enough blues, if you count the yellows as blues as well. Honestly, I'm kind of feeling the Mark. I think that it's kind of interesting between these two, but I think I'm going to go for the Mark. All right, blue pick up with point wield, so we get an extra blue anyways. I was kind of thinking about the Poison Blade or the Grow Claws, but I think that just getting our blues to like about this amount is pretty all right. So we're at 7 blues now, so we managed to get some good stuff. And we also have some yellows to kind of fill out our curve. And then the rest of our deck is like very, very solid. Like, at least I think. All right, we'll take another Mark. Seems pretty good. So now we got 2 Mark with Magmas, so that helps kind of our Mark synergy get up a little bit. We have Poison Blade, which is playable. We also have Bloodline, which is kind of like a 0 for 3. Interesting kind of point of contention between these two. I think I like the Bloodline a little bit more. All right, we got Tag the Target, which is also playable if we want to maybe cut like a shitty card. Yeah, we'll play a Tag the Target. I think it's fine. Especially because it turns on Blaze Headlongs and then maybe gives us some Mark synergy for like the hunt. But this deck is like actually I think came out pretty good. So what do we want to cut here? I think our blues and our maybe like we can cut like a yellow tag. Do we have any other kind of low quality cards? I think we're looking pretty good, honestly. Like this deck just seems very, very efficient, very solid. So I'm kind of liking it. We saw a lot of like really high quality reds early, and then we were able to find the blues in the second pack. This is also basically a 0 cost. So like this is kind of our curve, right? We just have like 6/1 costs of like the rest are entirely 0 costs, and then I guess these aren't really like playable 0 costs or like that kind of 0 cost. Blood Drop I don't think we need. It's like okay, but not crazy about Blood Drop. Unfortunately, we didn't see our dagger throwing stuff, but we do have like pick up the points and stuff to maybe compensate for that a little bit. But yeah, I think we're in an okay spot. We also have Burning Blade Dance, which we can maybe use to like throw a dagger, or like if it hits, like force a block from our opponent. All right, Scar Tissue, last pick. I think our deck ended up pretty good, honestly. So we have the Path, we got the Vow of Vengeance. Yeah, this deck looks I think pretty solid. We did miss our chess piece, but I think that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a try. And yeah, we're looking pretty good here. Yeah, this is a good deck, I think. I think this is really solid. Let's go ahead and copy and get into the game. All right, we're playing against Arakni, which actually is pretty good with our vows. I don't think we're doing any sideboarding here. So they get to choose who goes first. Right, I will go first. Let's go ahead and go for it. Yeah, everything looks good. All right, first hand, maybe a little bit awkward here. So what do we want to do? We can. I feel like we want to maybe just arsenal displace headlong. So I feel like the play here is maybe like do dagger, pitch grow claws. We can like retrieve the dagger, arsenal blaze headlong. Seems kind of alright. And then we finish on like Silver Talons, which should force out a lot of cards from hand. Opponent is on the Red Alert Vest plus the Leapfrog set. Pretty good. Let's go ahead. So I think that math works out, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We'll go ahead and pitch this here. I think we just want to set ourselves up pretty well with having access to 2 daggers. I don't think there's like a strong reason to go off daggers, especially when we're going first. All right, opponent will block, which is pretty good. We'll go ahead and close chain here, rebuy that dagger. And I think we're just going to finish on Silver Talons here. I don't think there's any real reason to like expend our dagger again. Send a 0 for 4 at them. They might just double block this. Then we get a nice little card set up in Arsenal. We have both our kunai still available. And like if we draw any of our 0 for 4 go-agains, this becomes very, very good. Cool. All right, so we leaked at least 1 damage. They get to keep a card in hand, which is pretty good for them. All right, a little bit of an awkward hand from us. But we can maybe make this work. So how do we do this? We probably have to like pitch to a dagger. This is kind of awkward. Could actually use some of this equipment to mark if we wanted to. Like what I'm thinking we could do is we actually use Pathfinders to give the Burning Blade go again, then we could play Blaze Headlong and then finish on like an Art of Dragon Claw or a mark. All right, I don't think there's a very strong reason to block dagger here, so I'm going to just take this. I think if they want to destroy it, I think that's okay. I think they're going to decide to mark here. Sure. Pretty good. Ooh, whenever you hit a Cindra, draw a card. Okay, how do they give this go again, though? I guess is the question. I guess they have that Stains of the Redback. That might be like the scary card. So that would be coming in for 7, which we can't really block anyways. I think we're just going to try to keep the hand. They're probably going to, if they have the Stains, they're probably going to be able to use it to pretty good effect here. But I think we just need to try to develop out our hand. All right, if they don't have it, then all we're... Oh, wait, they do get Gogan off Arakni. Okay. I forgot that he did that, if I'm being honest. Okay. Oh, we're learning the format, which is important. All right, so they have another opportunity to mark here. So I wonder if actually maybe it was correct to try to go for a block with like a Leapfrog plus our 1 cost. Still don't know if that's good though. It's like okay, but I still think we'd want to just try to send the hand if we can. All right, they're going to think about whether to mark again. Oh, they are going to mark, sure. And then finishing on a backstab. It's pretty good. Is this the first time? Oh wow, this just always applies. That's kind of crazy. So what do I want to do here? Could double block, but that also seems kind of crappy. Yeah, it feels like maybe we just want to like give up on this. Like maybe we just take this, go to 10. You keep an arsenal. They're also out of daggers, which I guess is somewhat valuable. This also takes off the mark, so they don't get to like flip or do anything. Yeah, it's fine. Oh wait, does that Cindra card apply to all of the cards? Oh wow, the contract just stays. Oh yeah, I forgot how contract works. All right, probably bungled this game. Yeah, that's a pretty good turn. I honestly forgot that the contract stays open that long, but I guess we're learning the format. So when it hits mark hero, gets +1. Man, that's really good. That's very, very solid. All right, I guess we will. We probably should have blocked like way, way earlier, but now maybe we just need to block. That was a very, very spicy turn. All right, let's go ahead and pitch one of our 1-cost to dagger. A lot weaker turn from us. Giving a block here is kind of interesting. Huh, maybe a little bit of an awkward hand from them. Okay, interesting. All right, we'll go ahead and just send efficient damage. Yeah, I think that maybe we should try to go for a block on this, especially like with our hand. May just deny some of the early card draw so it doesn't snowball. This card's really solid, especially if you're playing against Cindra. I mean, otherwise it's not very good, right? Yeah, but that card seems real good, especially if there are a lot of Cindras in the pool or whatever. I don't think we're in a completely unwinnable spot though. Effectively at 15, they did get to go first too, or they did get to go second, which I think is pretty good. Definitely also drew a little bit of an awkward hand. All right, so they have a Den of the Spider, greater than space, which this does not. So they fortunately don't get another mark on us, which I think is pretty important. But we'll go ahead and arsenal the Art of Dragonclaw. All right, plunge the prospect. So they have a 0 for 3 here. Ooh, we have a Hunt to the Ends of Wraith. Oh, that's so good. This hand's like kind of insane. I think we just gotta keep it. If they do anything to us, I think we can't afford to care. Just send a 0 for 3 at us. I think we're kind of okay with that. All right, let's go ahead and how do we want to start this off? Start with the Hunt to the Ends of Wraith. Which is probably the play. I guess the question is like, do we want to dagger, like try to get the dagger in graveyard so that we can like reset it up? Maybe like that a little bit more, honestly. Maybe go for dagger first, close chain, play Hunt, and then we can do like enough draconic cards. Maybe we want to arsenal this like Bloodline or the Grow Claws, and then we can just buy back our daggers. So let's close this chain now. Play out the Hunt, which is very, very solid. Just 0 for 4 plus a mark on them. Very, very good. This Bloodline is maybe a little bit awkward. Maybe we can even pitch this if we need to want to try to play out the Art of Dragonclaw. Yeah, it seems fine. Actually, I think that it's a little bit awkward here just because now we're going to have to... Unfortunately, like with Bloodline, if we close the chain, we lose the Draconic Link. So this still costs 1. Just maybe a little bit unfortunate. If we get the fealty here, though, I think our hand gets a lot better. Okay, we do get the fealty. All right, so that maybe just fixed our entire hand, which I think is really good. We don't get to turn on the Art of Dragonclaw, though. But maybe just playing it as a 1 for 5, or no, we don't even get to play that, right? Maybe it doesn't fix our hand. So we could instead play the Bloodline and pitch that. No, that still doesn't work, right? For some reason, I thought this was maybe a little bit better than it was. Maybe we still just go for the grow clause and then we pay the fealty to go to send like a budget CNC. Maybe that's fine. Yeah, I think this is a little bit more awkward than I maybe initially made it out to be. And we don't even get to really rebuy our daggers. I wonder if there's definitely a better sequence this turn, I think. We could actually attack react to get that. No, that doesn't help either. Yeah, I think I bungled this turn a bit. Alright, when this defense and attacking hero is played an attack or activated attack reaction, they lose life, so we have not done that. That's good. Let's go ahead and pop the fealty. Play this out. Yeah, this I think there was definitely a sequencing error here. Maybe closing the chain was not actually good. Card quality is like pretty high though. Getting a little bit saved by that. Oh, I cannot activate that. Alright, pickups points pretty good. They play an outed. Sure. So 0 for free. 0 for 3 if you're marked, you can't play this. Defending hero is marked, that gets +1. So I think we can't really afford to go for a block here. Can maybe like leapfrog something, but still don't think there's a very solid reason to block. This hand's also really awkward. All right, they're just going to pass. I think that's good for us. So what does that mean that they have an arsenal? Not sure. So we can play Fire 10 and Strike Fist, pick up the point. Send a dagger, which would get the Draconic. Problem is, like, the resources just don't work. I guess we'll start with this. I think that, yeah, there's a lot of, like, weird sequencing stuff here that I think I could have done a little bit better. All right. At least we're getting it out of the way before pre-release. So we got Fire 10 and Strike Fist coming in. They block it, sure. Let's go ahead and maybe then pick up the point. We will go and retrieve a dagger, I think. Get this dagger. We can send the dagger, then pitch this to rebuy the daggers. Still not very good. If we mark them, does that change anything? Not really, right? I don't know. This 4-bet's kind of hard on first glance. I wonder if we can maybe try to go for some kind of fatigue here. Could also send this, but like, might just be better to rebuy daggers. Could also send another dagger if we wanted to just use the extra resource. Yeah, it's fine. All right, decent hand. Okay, they haven't outed again. It's pretty good. Can maybe block with the Grow Wings here. Grow Wings is like decent, but we're kind of behind, and I maybe want to have Fatigue as an out here. Don't know how viable that is. All right, we have Mark the Prey. When this hits a hero, mark them. We don't want that, ideally. So maybe, so actually, how does pick up the point work with this hand? We can do like Kunai, Close Chain, pick up the point. No, that doesn't really work. Maybe just block with a yellow, pick up the point. If they go for a react, it's not the end of the world. How many reacts have they had yet? They've not had a ton of reacts. This is fine. All right, they have a take up the mantle. Ooh, I think that we saw that earlier. So we're going to be coming in for 2 over. This will mark us, and then it'll also get the Arakni on hit. Pretty scary. All right. Fortunately, they didn't have anything here. They're going to get Funnel Web, which is pretty good. Hmm. All right, guess we start with Kunai and do what? You can just send this. Like, Closing Chain doesn't really do anything. Cindra's fucking hard, by the way. I guess we just have to pass now. Feels rough. Ooh, we have Sigil of Solace and Smokeout, though. That maybe can save us here. I feel like it's a little bit undeserved. All right, equip with Graphene, Chilicerai. Next attack stealth gets +1. Pretty solid. Banish card in their arsenal. Okay, so we need to worry about assassin cards specifically. I think Fatigue might honestly be a viable strategy at this point. If like we have more cards in deck. They only have Graphene, which will kill us over like 5 turns or whatever. So this has stealth, so this will come in for +2. I think we can probably just afford to block this, and then if they want to react, we have the smoke out. If they don't want to react, we can just sit on this and just play out like Burning Blade Dance or something. It seems okay. I think we actually are maybe getting a little bit saved here. They do still have like a pretty significant life lead, it feels like. All right, they're going to go for the Incision. Sure. We do have the smoke out now, which will not mark them, but probably just gives us a decent bit of breathing room. Oh, they also have the Funnel Web. I did forget about that. So they can discard that. This will come in for... Oh, right, because it has stealth. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, I froze the screen. All right, we'll pass here. All right, so this does not notably cause us to do anything. So we can play the Sigil of Solace to stay alive. This comes in, puts us to 2. We can send the Burning Blade Dance. They would get rid of the Mark too, which I think is relevant. Could use the Leapfrog Gloves, but the Leapfrog Gloves are pretty much always going to be good, so I don't think there's... Well, actually, there is kind of a reason to use it now, because now we can just put it in front of them, I guess. Sure. So we'll take 2 here. They clear the Mark. They banish our arsenal, which we don't have. Then we can go ahead and just send this Burning Blade Dance. Seems alright. They are kind of running out of cards at this point, so maybe that's kind of our ticket out of this game, is to just try to get them to run out of cards, and maybe they just try to Graphene us to death and can't do that. We basically just want to prevent them from marking us, which I think is like the most important thing here. All right, they're just going to give up their equipment suite, which makes sense. Sure. All right, not a bad hand. We do have to put in context, which is also pretty good. So we block with 4 the Emperor. If they react to this, what we can actually do is use the put into context before the react resolves, and then we can cover it that way. And then we have tag the target plus Blaze Headlong to maybe try to claw back in. So I think we've made a lot of mistakes this game, but maybe we're just getting bailed out a little bit by our card quality. All right, so they do have this target dagger attack gets +3. Hits a hero, mark them, so they're going to get a double mark here. So now we have to respond with the put into context, which should cover this. All right, they have an Upsticks left in deck. I think they've got a couple other blues that they have access to. But we can maybe try to go for the Fatigue strat. They will have to give us at least 1 card next turn, because we have tag plus this. I think that we have managed to find an out to this game that I think I butchered pretty tremendously, it feels like. I need to watch back that dagger turn and just see what the correct strat was. Okay, so we have when this defends an attack with go again, mark the. That's pretty good. All right, so that's pretty scary. So that will give their stealth attacks +1. Pretty gross. Unfortunately, we're not really able to confirm lethal here. But what I'm hoping here is that maybe their hand is just like awkward and they can't develop it all out against us. All right, so we can't Cindra, we can't do anything, so we'll go ahead and pass here. We will have to give up some blocks, presumably. Like maybe we need to overblock like a stealth attack or something. But I think that we can probably just kind of win the game back from there. Like maybe our play next turn is to actually do like block, like if they just send a stealth card or whatever, we just block 6 on it. Maybe even block with equipment. So we know they have a yellow up sticks on. Is that what the card is on the bottom? I think it's yellow up sticks. They do have 2 daggers in graveyards, so that's pretty good. They have cut from the same cloth. Next dagger attack gets +3, and they know it's in our hand. Okay, that's pretty good. Notably, this does also have some synergy with Arakni, because they can. Oh no, I guess they wouldn't be able to mark us again. That's not how Arakni works. All right, pitching the Den of the Spider. So the question is, do we want to overblock on this, or do we want to... Like, we can block 6 on it, and that's pretty good. So they have a Den of the Spider, which is... So drawing into a react, an up sticks, and then 1 other unknown card in hand. So if this is a react of some... Like, I don't even know what react... They could have, like, a scar tissue or something. Like, most of it's just +3 attack react. So I think in order to live here, like, I think if we block like this, we're pretty safe. And like they can follow up with like a stealth attack, but we can still just block that with equipment and stay alive. So I think we're okay here. So we have Den of the Spider, we have up sticks, and then we have 1 other unknown card. I think we're kind of okay here. It's kind of wild that this went to the deck. They have the trapdoor, which, funny enough, they cannot get the lair of the spider. Okay, so I think we're kind of okay here. So we do dagger, magma, buy back other dagger. They have to give us their trap, which does not like ping us or anything. I think we somehow managed to find our way out of this game. They do have the up sticks, which they can use to buy back dagger, but I don't know what their last card is. It's probably like a blue or something. Buy back the dagger. Pass. Alright, so they have the up sticks. Are they going to pay to... So it is a blue mark. Alright, so we just need to not die here, and then we're fine. So we can block with probably Bloodline. Bloodline, 2 equipment. They can't activate the other dagger. They only have a blue left in hand, and then we can just send a bunch of daggers and kill them. Alright, so I think we found our way out of this game. Oh, I definitely am fucking rusty at limited. Holy shit. Kind of felt like we were just so far behind from that Extinguish the Flames. But like we somehow managed to just get back in the game based on our card quality, I think. Just goes to show that maybe some of the skill is in drafting and not in the gameplay. maybe. But it seems like they're pretty dead next turn. All right, seems like they're going to scoop it up. All right, well, good game to our opponent. I think their name was Senpai or Player 2 or whatever. But yeah, so see if we can go and get another one. All right, their hero is Cindra. Do we want to go first or second? I think I like going second against Cindra. All right, so against Cindra, do we want anything special? I don't think so. I think our normal game plan is just kind of fine here. All right, they are on Code of Allegiance plus 2 Leapfrogs. We are on Vows, which are basically just Iron Rots. Looking like a pretty good blocking hand, fortunately. We have 3/3 blocks and then a grow clause, and we also have the put into context. Seems pretty solid. All right, they're going to pitch a Trudalong, which is just a nice blue 3. I guess the question here is, do we want to block dagger at all? Probably, honestly. I think it's fine to give up a 2 block here. Can maybe give up the Silver Talons as well. I might not block the second dagger. Depends what they do. Might be a little bit greedy to go for the second dagger block. It's like keeping these 2 cards seems like pretty reasonable. I don't want them to just like vomit out a bunch of damage after the second dagger. All right, they will go for the second dagger. I don't think we're going to block this. I think we're just going to take it here. We can leak 1 damage on turn 1. I think it's fine. I just want to make sure that we're safe from the rest of their cards. Looks like they might just go for a rebuy here and then pass or something. Okay, they're going to go for a mark. Much rather block this card. So they can pay 2 here, re-equip. This notably doesn't have the on-hit. So if we wanted to keep our own mark with Magma, we're probably safe to do so. I guess the question is how impactful is keeping. Like, we can risk like not drawing into a very good hand, but I think maybe taking extra damage here is fine. And like this doesn't have an on-hit, so I think it's kind of okay here. If this had the mark on hit, I'd maybe be a little bit more incentivized to block, but I think leaking 2 damage on turn 1 is kind of fine. All right, they have a Relentless Pursuit, a Trot. Okay, we'll try to keep those in mind for later. So 2 blues at the bottom of the deck. Pretty good hand from us. So we can do dagger, dagger. No, we probably shouldn't double dagger. We should probably just do like... yeah, I think we want to pitch like pick up the point here and maybe put Arsenal is put into context because it's probably pretty good against Cindra. So I think the play is to maybe do dagger, pitching pick up the point, do grow claws, and then finish on a mark. We can't rebuy dagger, but that's I think fine. I think this play seems pretty solid, especially putting the +1 breakpoint makes blocking with equipment a little bit more awkward. Oh, sorry, we don't get to this. This gets the +1, not the mark with Magma, right? Okay, so this is the 1 for 4. Pretty good. I think we're set up pretty well here. We did leak 2 damage, but not the end of the world. All right, Lyra's Spider, very, very solid card. Probably one of the better reacts, honestly, especially being a ninja. Pretty darn good. All right, looks like we might get a mark on them. Pretty solid as well. Then we just get to Arsenal this nice little put into context. All right, we have Smoke Out as well. Should be pretty easy to turn on against Cindra. Only awkward part about this hand is maybe... Well, a couple awkward parts about this hand, I think. We can do 0 for 3 into 0 for 3, which is not terrible. And then like Arsenal this for the Emperor. Do we want to give them fealty early? It's probably fine too. Yeah, I think I just want to save armor for something a little bit better, maybe. Seems pretty like pretty easy that they're just going to be able to get the mark anyways, so no real reason to commit armor to this, I think. Maybe also don't want to play the Smoke Out right away. All right, they're going to close chain, go for another dagger. Sure. Seems all right. Probably want to find an opportunity to use these reacts at some point this turn. All right. We can at least use our Smoke Out here, which we're not going to get the value out of it because they're already marked, but is what it is. Not the end of the world. Could also block with like for the Emperor because it's a little bit awkward, and then maybe hold on to the reacts. Don't entirely love that, but maybe it's also okay. Could also like use one of these for pitch as well. Kind of depends what they do here. But I think we maybe are fine to block with this one cost. Because maybe like keeping the reacts is better. Not 100% sure. Alright, so we have a Bloodline. Yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and put into context this. Just get it out of our arsenal, because it's kind of a little bit clunky, especially when we have the smoke out. And looks like they might go for... Oh, they have they created Filthy? I think they have, right? So this is go again. It's pretty good. I think our turn we're just gonna do Fire Tenant plus Grow Wings, which is just like 2 6s, but maybe there's not a ton better we can be doing. Or it's just 6 damage total, but it's whatever. I guess if we get the mark, we can actually turn this into a 0 for 4 with the Draconic. That might not be worth it though. Yeah, let's just go ahead and pass here. I think there also might be some merit to getting a little bit greedy and go for like a dagger, but it seems kind of suspect. I think we just want to try to throw a little bit of damage at them. Then Arsenal smoke out. Hopefully we can maybe get the mark off so we can get a fealty this turn. Alright, so we get the Cindra trigger. So now we do have a fealty. And like we're pretty likely to just get another fealty at some point next turn anyways. So maybe we do go ahead and just use this. Yeah, use it for +1. I think is like semi-reasonable. Not impressive, but it's a might token, which I think is better than nothing, maybe. We do have a couple like field things that want fealty in our deck. Like I think the Art of Dragon does want it. But like a lot of our cards like don't actually need fealty all that bad. Alright, we have a Kunai coming in. I think that is okay. Blue Dragon Power is very, very good. I think we passed this, so they might have been the one to pick it up. Seems quite solid. Alright, so they're going to follow up with a Dust Runner. I feel like we should just go ahead and try to get the mark off on this. We could get punished by like another attack that we want to block, but maybe it's fine. Still no reason to like use equips yet, I think. So I think we'll just go ahead and smoke out this to develop out the mark. Oh, maybe we wanted to do something else there. Alright, they're gonna close chain instead and then maybe play out the Dust Runner. That maybe makes sense. So they're probably gonna go for a dagger rebuy. So if they have another Draconic card, this is actually really good for them. Sure, let's still go for the smoke out though, I think. It's probably worth it. Because we're not guaranteed that they're gonna play another red card. Alright, they're gonna play this out. Sure. Alright, so we still would like to smoke out this. So we get another mark on them, which is real good. Alright, so they get a mark with Magma. Do we want to try to go for a block on this? So they can't rebuy the daggers currently. Unless their last card in hand is a 0-cost Draconic, which would be really good for them. I guess the question here is, do we want to try to reset our own daggers? So what is our turn next turn? I'm going to give them a thinking real quick. So our next turn, we could do Dagger, Pitch and Grow Claws, Close Chain. We have 2 resources floating. We can play Pick Up the Point, not pay into it. Or maybe we do want to pay into it. So you do Pick Up the Point, Pick Up the Point, rebuy both daggers, Arsenal Bloodline. Is that even good? Maybe we just want to actually do like Grow Claws, Pick Up the Point, Dagger. That's also kind of weak. It's like 2-card 4. Yeah, it's not correct. That's not crazy. I think there might be merit to blocking with the Bloodline, but Because, like, there's no real way to get... No, maybe there is a way to get 2 Draconic Chain Links. So we do pick up the point, retrieve, dagger using the 2 blue, play Bloodline, and then we lose both of our daggers. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I'm going to go ahead and maybe... this feels pretty bad either way. I think I'm going to go for a block like this and maybe just try to deny the mark. I don't know. This feels kind of wrong. If they're able to rebuy their daggers here, it's really bad for us, I think. All right, so they're going to pitch the compounding to Cindra. Yeah, this draft format's hard, by the way. All right, let's go ahead and do pick up the point. We will go ahead and rebuy a dagger here. I guess the question is, do we want to use this or this? I think the blue is probably safer. So we can do this dagger, Arsenal pick up the point. Or we can actually maybe just do 1 dagger, close chain, rebuy dagger. Yeah, that seems better, maybe. Pick up the points I feel like are actually not all that good in Cindra. Looks like they're gonna try to deny mark here. All right, let's go ahead and just send in the pick up the point. Retrieve the dagger. Still try to push for that fealty token. All right, so we get our fealty back. Then we basically just need to weather their 3-card hand. Ooh, we do have a Sigil Solace, which could also be quite good. Especially if they're trying to go for like a dagger lock strat. So what's our play next turn? We probably want to do like... this kunai is probably fine. We don't have mark or anything, so that's okay. So what do we want to do next turn? It's a good question. Probably just want to tag and play out the Fire Tenant Strike Fist. Like do tag, Fire Tenant Strike Fist, dagger. No, that's not very good. Could also do tag, pitching the Strike Fist, dagger, throw. Can't rebuy. No, we could. No, we can't rebuy the dagger in that case. Yeah, so this is looking a little bit awkward, but we'll try to make the best of it, I guess. Maybe we can bait them into getting a little bit greedy with the dagger stuff. Okay, so we have another dagger coming in. Sure. All right, then we have Lava Vein. So maybe looking to just pay the 1 to rebuy the dagger. I don't see a reason to block here. We have Sigil Solace to bail us out of like dagger lock. So I think we just want to try to send as much damage as possible. All right, they're going to activate Cindra. Seems good. We actually might use our fealty here because we can actually buy back at least 1 dagger. That's probably smart. So let's go ahead and use our fealty. When do we want to use our fealty? We use it. We don't actually have to give up that much information. We can actually not use it yet. So we can use it on the throw yourself at them without closing the chain since it's an instant. And then we should be able to buy back our 1 kunai with the throw. So depending on how they block here, this might be pretty good for us. All right, they have a smoke out, which is going to mark us. So pretty solid. So I don't think we're going to have lethal. I think we're 1 off. But we still have Sigil Solace we're sitting on, and then we can maybe try to go for like dagger lock. Seems like maybe the play. All right, they're going to block with their leggings. Seems good. All right, we'll pop the fealty. Go ahead and just send this in just so we can get our 1 dagger back. And we're effectively at 9. Alright, we'll rebuy the dagger. We could have actually, I think... No, we can't. We couldn't have closed chain, I think, at any point, right? Not without not being able to rebuy the one dagger for free. Alright, let's get our dagger back. Our Soul Sigil. We can maybe try to weather their hand, especially if they go for more, like, pushing breakpoints as opposed to pushing for, like, damage. Should be in a pretty good spot here, though. Pretty okay spot. We do also have a couple 3 blocks in our hand, so seems somewhat likely that we'll be able to survive their onslaught here. Probably want to block with like Mark and Art of Dragon, if anything, and then maybe just send these two. Kind of depends what they do, though. I think they're now going to go ahead and try to crack their coat. So you can only play cards that are Draconic this turn, but they also have the fealty to do that. Alright, we have a Hunt to the Ends of Wraith, so this card is only a... Or it is a 0 for 4, right? So I guess the question is, do we want to give them another fealty? It's probably okay too. Like, the second fealty, I think, matters less than the first one. So let's go ahead and block with our Art of Dragonclaw here. I think we're just planning on blocking with that and the Mark with Magma. Could have used our Leapfrog Gloves or a Path of Vengeance to deny it, but I don't think that's... Maybe it is relevant. Like, maybe 2 fealty lets them do something crazier. Who knows? Alright, we have another Cinder Skin. Again, I think I'm going to try to bait them into going for, like, daggers, because we have the Sigil of Solace as backup. So, let's go ahead and block like this. Alright, they're going to crack 1 fealty here. Ooh, to play out a Silver Talons. Pretty good. So now this is Draconic, they get to rebuy. We probably are forced to block at least a little bit here. And then we can Sigil of Solace. Then we can live at 1. Don't love that. Maybe it's better to just leave Fog, block with the Burning, and then save the Sigil. And then maybe try to bait them into going for like a dagger play as opposed to like a damage play. Because we don't actually have to use the Sigil just yet. We actually wait a little bit. I think that might be the strat. I think it's something like this is maybe good. Alright, so they're going to rebuy with Cindra, sure. Sounds good. We will force a block out of them here, though. We'll not retrieve a dagger. Their deck seems really solid, by the way. Just a lot of kind of good, high-quality cards. The marks, I think, are really solid. Alright, they have a Put into Context. Seems pretty good. Alright, seems good to me. Alright, again, our plan here is to try to bait the daggers. Like, if they can go for daggers as opposed to, like, a damage-efficient play, that's maybe how we get back in this game. What is our play? Probably want to play, like, Hunt plus Blaze Headlong plus Grow Wings, and then maybe block with this Dust Runner. I guess we will just block with the Path here. Maybe try to bait them in going for, like, another dagger just for inefficiency's sake. Alright, we'll pass here, play out the Sigil. Which is pretty good for us. So we go back up to 4, or we go back up to 3, rather. Should be pretty healthy. Alright, they have another Dust Runner, which is kind of scary. This is a 2-block. Maybe block with the Grow Wings, and then just send this plus this, which both threaten lethal. Yeah, maybe that's the play. Feels kind of weak. I think we were probably going to have to end up blocking with this Dust Runner anyways. I don't want to go to 1 just because then they can start daggering us again. So maybe going to 2 is like a little bit safer. Feels bad though. Alright, so we have a Hot on Heels. So you have one other card in hand. If their other card is a 0 cost, I think we basically just lose, right? Because then we have to give up 2 cards. I think our only way that we can actually reasonably get back in this game is if we keep these 2 cards. So we're going to try to go for the win. They do get the mark, which is pretty good. Ooh, they got another 0 cost. Okay, I think that's probably it for us. So yeah, we have to block now. 2. They rebuy their daggers, and then we're pretty hosed from there, I think. We'll play it out, though. Maybe they brick or something. Seems pretty unlikely, especially with 2 daggers up, but you never know. Have a hand of 4 D-reacts or something. But yeah, it seems like we just a little bit too slow, I think. Wonder what turn it was that really kind of diss in. I feel like we drew like an all-red turn. That kind of was awkward. Alright, we have to block this kunai. Might as well block it with the 2 block, I think. Alright, they're gonna close chain. Makes kunai rebuy kunai. Seems pretty downhill from here, but we'll do our best. Alright, so we can block with... I guess we block with Blaze Headlong. I don't think it matters a ton. Alright, they're going to use up that fealty for a Dragon Power. Oh, that will kill us. Okay, cool. Well, that was a pretty good game. I think that I could have maybe played a little bit better. I think there was maybe some awkward hands, but is what it is. This is a very fun, like, limited format, though. I've been enjoying it. Give him a GG's as well. But yeah, I think that's probably going to wrap it up for today. So that was our kind of Cindra deck. I kind of liked our deck a lot. I think that there were maybe some awkward cards in it. Like, I think the Bloodline ended up being kind of awkward just because, like, feels like we never really got the opportunity to use it to its kind of full effect. I think, like, maybe the biggest thing against this deck is that it felt like we didn't have a lot of Draconic starters. Like, it feels like we, like, had, like, the Burning Blade Dances or whatever, but, like, a lot of, like, the 0 for 3, like, Lava Vein loyalty effects felt like we were missing. I don't think this deck was, like, terrible. Like, I think our card quality was overall quite high, but again, I think we just kind of got a little bit unfortunate with some of our, like, draws, but that happens. I think I also probably also, like, didn't play incredibly well, but remains to be seen. This format, I think, is very difficult, especially with, like, dagger management and stuff like that. So, very, very cool format. Again, this is kind of like, I think, my second attempt at drafting this format, so please bear with me while I'm trying to learn the format. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.